And I think that was one of the important lessons, that you have to think medium and long term about how you shift thinking. And it requires patience, and it requires people to believe in what they're doing. And I think when we look at where we are now in the TPPA struggle, we are winning. We always set out in these negotiations when they began about 5 years ago to set the agenda, and that's what's happened. We now dictate the terms of the debate, and those who are its advocates have to try to justify what's unjustifiable. And that, I think, is a lesson that we can learn. But I want to say that the reason this fight is important isn't just because of this agreement. I mean, this agreement has many problems. Its problems are it will lock in neoliberalism, its problems is it's for the 1%, its problem is that it's the kind of executive power that's also brought us political appointees to university councils and a variety of other things. So it's a part of a bigger struggle about who decides the future. But it's also about learning that paradigms change. And one of the most important things for us in working in the tertiary sector is that we have a responsibility for creating the conditions and the thinking and the belief that the world can be different. And if we surrender to the belief that there is nothing that we can do, then we aren't deserving of our jobs. Yeah. And that's what I think this battle has been about. It's about that period of the last 30, 35 years now being in a period of crisis, and it's going to change, and we have to be part of the change. But for those of us who are what I call crusty old academics, we've played our role. Yeah? I've made a conscious decision that despite the fact that we don't have to retire at 65 any longer, I'm going to do it. I turned 60 last month. I've got 5 more years. And thankfully the Marsden grant I just got the other day will help ease those 5 years. I took some pleasure in telling the chief negotiator of the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement that I've just got 3 years of funding to work on strategies and options to exit these agreements. He choked a little. But from my viewpoint, the next 5 years is about how we ensure that we create the space and do the mentoring and ensure that in quite hostile conditions, next generations are not only confident enough and competent enough to play that role, but believe that they actually can make a difference, and that we will be there for you, but it's your world, and you need to make that world for yourselves. And in Aotearoa, that world is premised on Te Tiriti. It's premised on us actually having a belief that people make the difference, and that people are the centre alongside Te Ao that we live in, and that we have this incredibly privileged role in tertiary institutions of being able to play an important place in this country. And so that was really what I wanted to say, and saying thank you to the union. But my last message is I expect to see every single one of you and the whole of your whānau out there on Saturday at the protest against the TPPA to tell the government that you have not been seduced by their spin, and that we can not only win this fight, but we can take back control of this country. Kia ora.